Hi again. Free World's Plan of Redemption, page 117. Barbour has been discussing the setting up of the papacy as the beginning of the 1260 days of Daniel and the end of the papacy's rule, 1798. And he goes on, "It is true, Justinian, the emperor of the East, after driving out the Goths, which was not fully consummated until AD 553, claimed to be emperor of Rome, while permitting the popes to exercise civil power in collecting their own revenues, appointing their judicial offices, etc. It is also true that at a later date, Pepin of France claimed and exercised more or less authority over the papal power. And so, during most of that 1260 years, have other of these 10 kings or divisions of the empire. But it will be remembered, the prophecy does not demand that the papacy should be an independent power. These 10 divisions of the empire were to agree and give their power and strength unto the beast until the words of God were fulfilled. And all the world know that the Catholic princes of Europe did maintain the papacy in Rome with more or less civil power during that 1260 years. But when the time was fulfilled, they were to hate the harlot and strip her and make her desolate and naked and consume her substance unto the end. The exact day on which that 1260-year period ended was February 15th, 1798. That was the day the papal civil power ended and the Republic was declared from the capital in Rome. But the exact date of the setting up of that abomination is not so clearly marked. Still, the year 538 is clearly marked as the end of the Gothic sovereignty in Rome. Not but what they still strove to regain their loss until the death of their last king in 553. But they strove unsuccessfully, for during all that 15 years the provinces of Italy, who had declared in favor of the Catholic party, maintained their allegiance, notwithstanding Rome was sacked some 4 or 5 times. Dating from 538 in round numbers, the 1,335 days would reach to AD 1873, as you may see by adding 1335 to 538. Hence, 1873, the year the 6,000 ended, that is the 6,000 years of human existence according to Barbour's chronology. The year the 6,000 ended and the day of the Lord began was looked forward to with much interest, and every part seemed to fit. From the time the abomination was set up, or from 538, there shall be 1,000 years with 290 added. Then a blessing is pronounced on those who wait and come to the 1,000, clearly the same 1,335 days. From 538, 1,000 reaches to 1538, a date clearly marked in history as a shortening of the days of tribulation spoken of by Christ in Matthew 24. It was in 1538, the Holy League between Archbishop of Strasbourg, the Archbishop of Mentz, the Duke of Bavaria, George of Saxony, Henry of Brunswick, supported by Francis of France, Henry of England, and other northern powers, was formed. The object of this Holy League was to stop the papal persecution and aid the reformers. And the end of the 290, that is the 290 extended after that, are also clearly marked. It was at that time the Advent movement began, or a special waiting for the ending of the longer period. So that would be 30 years after the fall of the papacy, so around 1828-29, which he therefore says is being fulfilled by the rise of Adventism, from which, of course, Christadelphianism, Seventh-day Adventism, and the Watchtower all derive their momentum. Again, at the end of the 290, that is 1290 total, clearly marked, and it was at that time the Advent movement began, or a special waiting for the ending of the longer period. I'll put a link into what a real commentator on Daniel was saying around this time, Samuel Tregelles, who had published the 4th edition of his commentary on Daniel the very year that Charles Taze Russell was born, 1852.